Hey, welcome everyone. I am so excited to have my associate and dear friend, Mrs. Jennifer Scoggins, here today to talk to us about her amazing experience cooking whole plant foods for her family, and last week, having a whole household full of swimmers from her son's college at home with her. So it was quite a week. It was very busy, and yet she was able to cook whole food plant centered meals all week long, and they loved it. They ate every crumb. So we're excited to talk about that today, and also hoping to connect with moms who are wondering about how do you get your kids to enjoy whole plant foods? How do you get them interested? What do they like? So she's going to help us with that today. So
Hi,
thank you,
everyone.
Jennifer, for coming on, and talking to us
Thank you,
about this.
Karen.
So let's talk about a little bit about your background first. We know that you're a licensed registered dietitian
Yes.
and
Yep.
also have your plant certification, nutrition certification from Cornell, which is awesome.
I do.
Mhm.
I'm also a nationally certified Pilates trainer and certified in various modalities of exercise. I've been also teaching fitness for the past 20 plus years now. Time
It's
goes by
amazing how fast it goes by. Yes.
Yes. I have to think about the age of my boys to calculate.
I know. It's true. And that's awesome. And so how old are your boys?
I have a 20-year-old, an 18-year-old, and a 14-year-old.
Wow.
Yep.
And they've got huge appetites, don't they?
Huge. But, I noticed last week that there are young men with even bigger appetites than my three. So that was
That's hard to believe too, isn't it?
Experience.
Oh, that's awesome. So you've been 100% plant-based, no oil, no fat, and no sugar, no refined sugar in your cooking for about how long?
For right at a year now.
I figured it was a year. And you've been trending that direction a long time because you've always cooked healthy meals. Yeah.
Many years, yes.
So what are some of the, oh, go ahead.
No, with each conference I go to for continuing ed for my registration on dietetics, it would always inspire me to just transition to just the healthiest lifestyle I possibly could, not only for my own health, but for the health of my family and those that I love. And so it's been evolving, I would say, most of my adult life. So, so it was when after I took the Campbell course at Cornell, that just solidified. It was just the icing on the cake for completely transitioning to whole food plant-based. And
that is fantastic.
Wonderful. Yes.
Wonderful. That's awesome. And so you're such a fabulous resource for us because it took a lot of ideas and creative thinking, I'm sure, to create those meals for those hungry men in your household for a year. So, yeah. So tell us about that journey for you and what kinds of things you love to cook for them and what they love to eat.
Well, I'll start with breakfast. They're big breakfast eaters. A combination of heaping bowls of oatmeal with nut butters and bananas and berries and flaxseed. That's our go-to. Seth, actually, my oldest, who is off at college, he actually makes that bowl just about every morning. Oh, and we also put grape nuts in it too. Add a little texture.
Oh, yum.
So, breakfast, we do something cereal-based, oatmeal-based, with lots of feel, texture. The boys need a lot of calories, so we add, as I mentioned, the nut butters and fruit. Also, I like making these peanut butter, what what is it? Peanut butter banana waffles. And they
Oh,
are
yum.
deliciously sweet. You can add a
Uh-huh.
fruit spread if you would like, but Seth and I find they're delicious all in themselves, and they have chia seeds in them as well,
Wow.
and almond milk. They're very
Uh-huh.
hearty. So, matter of fact, that was the first meal that I prepared for all of the young men and swimmers that were at my house last week. I got up early and quadrupled the batches
Oh,
and just
my.
started putting them in the waffle makers. And so that way, what they didn't eat, I was able to just store in the fridge in a container. So when they would get up in the morning, they would have those at their disposal in the event I actually wanted to get on my bike or something in the morning. So
Yeah.
that's what we did for breakfast. And that's what we,
And
those are the meals that my boys really enjoy day in and day
yeah,
out for the early morning hours.
that's wonderful. And so
Yes.
we haven't mentioned yet, but all of Jennifer's boys, the whole family are athletes. And these boys are elite swimmers. They've had full scholarships to college. They're that amazing. So we've got a whole household full of athletes now in Jennifer's house visiting for spring break week. So they all have voracious appetite because they're all solid muscle. So how many boys did you have total in your house last week?
I had 13.
Oh my goodness.
Luckily, the 13 was only here for 2 days and 1 night. So that was just 2 meals, just a dinner and a breakfast the next day. But the other 10 days, I had anywhere from 5 to 7. It was crazy, but they were.
We can't imagine.
The young people were just really intrigued by the flavors. And I can remember one of Seth's roommates said to me, "Miss Jennifer, you sure do spend a lot of time in the kitchen." And the only thing I could say out loud was, "Well, it's my happy place."
That's great. That was sweet. Well, yeah, and it sounds like they've never had really whole plant food meals before.
They have not. Seth, my oldest, who is currently a sophomore at Birmingham Southern College, he went plant-based last spring after a huge sports injury, and the plant-based diet really helped his outcome. It was a wonderful outcome, an unexpected outcome. And so he is a true believer, and he shares his plant-based diet and his meals that I fix for him with anybody who is willing to listen and take a bite. So I
That's
prepare him
fantastic.
meals and put them in the freezer, and when we see each other, I give him those meals. And he's learned to shop as well and learned how to read food labels. So
Nice.
his roommates who were here over the break as well, they were like, we've tried so many meals and they're just so good. If my mom would do this for me, we'd eat like this too. I'm really thinking that I'm going to talk her into starting to cook like this.
Oh, that's fantastic. And we can help with
Yeah.
that too.
Yes.
But that is just lovely. Isn't it? It's so inspirational to see that youthful energy and interest. And it does heal. I mean, it did heal Seth. It was just phenomenal with his healing and the fact that he is back to competitive swimming.
Yes.
That's just amazing.
It is amazing. It is. And he's
But he did it. He worked hard for it.
He did. Yep. But it's paid off because he's in better health now and in better condition now than he was even before. So
that's fantastic.
Yes.
And so since they're athletes, can you talk to us a little bit about the big question of protein? Everybody asks, well, how can we get enough protein from plants? And especially athletes and fitness geeks, everybody wants to know, well, how can we do that to make sure we get enough protein? So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, all plants, including watermelon, provides protein. Now you'd have to eat a lot of watermelon to get your daily protein needs, but all fruits and vegetables provide protein. If you're an athlete, I would definitely incorporate some of your ancient grains like quinoa, which is a phenomenal source of protein, lots of
Nice.
beans and legumes.
Yeah.
Another great source of protein. Potatoes have protein, everything. But I would definitely bulk up on your beans, legumes, your nuts, your seeds, nut butters, to help you get that protein that you need. And believe it or not, protein is not the largest macronutrient that your body needs. Even as an athlete, 15% of your calories need to come from protein. You don't need massive amounts of protein, especially as swimmers with the cardiovascular output that they have. The carbohydrates are very, very important. And because on a whole food plant-based diet, you're eating all complex carbohydrates, which are very nutrient dense. That's going to encompass a good 60% of your diet, if not 70% of your diet. So
yeah, well, they all excel at what they're doing, and so it's a testament. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. That's fabulous. Okay, so lunchtime. So what do they love for lunch?
Well, some of their favorites are, I make a chickpea salad. And that is made with hummus and Dijon mustard, green onions.
Nice.
Yep. I just lost you, Erin. There you are. Sorry.
We're back.
We're back.
We're good.
So a chickpea salad, and sometimes we'll put that on sandwiches, or Mary's crackers, which are made with all whole foods, nuts and seeds and whole grains, no oils added, no salt added. So also we like making hummus sandwiches or wraps, where we'll put hummus and slices of cucumber. Sometimes we'll add some tofu, sometimes not. Sprouts. I like to grow my own sprouts. And we'll put those on the sandwiches. The sky's the limit on what you can put on, your sandwiches and wraps, any kind of vegetables. But our favorite go-to is the sprouts, hummus, cucumbers, and tofu. Or sometimes
fantastic. Yeah, the tofu is just such a lovely product. It's awesome. And sprouts are so nutrient dense too. That's that's fantastic. And so how about dinner? What kinds of things do you make for dinner?
Okay, well, the sky's the limit. Everybody has their favorites. I'll have to say, all three of my boys absolutely, and all 13 of their friends really enjoyed it. I think there was only 7 here that night. I made homemade pizzas, and all the way down to the crust. Super easy though. I mean, it's just yes, whole wheat flour. I like using white whole wheat. It's just not as dense tasting. But whole wheat flour to use to make the crust. It just sits and rise. Spread it on a pizza plate, and I use a combination of a tomato sauce, no sugar added or oil added, and a no sugar added barbecue sauce.
Yum.
It's very good. I'll saute some onions and then add those sauces with a little bit of vegetable broth to that as well to make it a little thinner. And then I'll take some tofu and I will cube it and I'll put it in our air fryer and it crisps it up, kind of like,
Oh,
yeah, it's, I compare it to rotisserie chicken because I took this recipe. I actually changed this recipe from a chicken recipe and I'm like, this has got to
oh,
work
really?
with tofu. Yes.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, cube the tofu, put it in the air fryer for 7-8 minutes on 370 and it's just
Quick.
perfect. And so I will toss that tofu in the sauce with the onions and then put it all on the pizza crust.
Wow.
I'll add some green onions, mushrooms, peppers, whatever, whatever I have in the fridge. And that is the Scoggins' favorite dinner. And it was I would say the house guest's favorite dinner as well.
Yeah.
So that's one of our top go-tos. I make different kind of bean burgers, usually with a combination of brown rice or quinoa. Oats are usually added. Sometimes I'll have a sweet potato that's already been baked and I'll add that as an emulsifier instead of using eggs. Yeah.
Oh,
or
nice.
you could do all kinds of things. You could also use chia seeds and water. That equates to an egg.
Wow.
Let's see. So make all kind of burgers and we dress those burgers. I'll use a whole wheat bun and I'll dress those burgers with avocados or guacamole or hummus, all kinds of leafy greens. You can use any kind of pickles, preferably without any sugar or high fructose corn syrup. You've got to watch for that. There are some on the market.
Yeah.
And anyway, just put your favorite, whatever your taste buds are craving. Of course, you could use any kind of Dijon mustard as well.
Wow.
And we'll have those with turmeric fries, which is a combination of turmeric and cumin and some onion powder. A couple other seasonings in there. I don't remember off the top of my head, but then you just bake them in the oven and they've got a delicious little flavor. Or any kind of roasted vegetables. I always love the combination of cauliflower and sweet potatoes. That's another favorite in this house. So
that's excellent. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's just powerhouse nutrition, isn't it? All the way around. I mean, every molecule does something wonderful.
Yes.
And you don't have to worry about eating it either. And then one of the things I love about plant-based eating is that you can just eat it. You don't have to have any guilt hidden back there saying, well, maybe you've had enough. Well, maybe you shouldn't eat this. Well, you have to be better tomorrow. We don't have to have that in whole food plant eating, which is so liberating. It's so liberating.
It is. You do not have to count your calories. And you can rest assured that you are getting just a wide variety of nutrients.
It's fabulous.
It is. It is.
Yeah, disease fighting, cancer fighting, optimal nutrition. And we just probably should throw in there that one of the things that, one of the supplements that whole food plant eaters do need is vitamin B12.
Yes.
Because vitamin B12 occurs in animal meats, but not plants. So we go ahead and we supplement with B12. If you're under 60, you can do it once a week. If you're over 60, then you take one every day, but that's easy.
Yes.
That's an easy thing. Yeah, well, that's awesome. What an exciting and busy week you had.
I'm restocking right now.
And I bet they all can't wait to come back to your house. They must be so excited to come back. Plus, your house is fun. You and your husband are just so delightful. They must have a great time there.
We had a couple of Pilates sessions and had some meals out back. It was a good time.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And just imagine everyone. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I do want to say, this is at the forefront of my brain because that's what I'm doing this afternoon. I like keeping just snacks available on the counter, especially having teenagers, so they're
Yeah.
not jumping in the car and heading to a convenience store. I like having homemade granolas on
Oh,
the counter for them. While the swimmers were here, I would air pop some popcorn and spray it with a little
mhm.
bit of date syrup,
Oh,
which made it kind of
excellent.
sweet. You could
Mhm.
also put a little bit of salt on it, not much, but a little sprinkling, which gives it a good sweet, salty flavor. But I made sure
Mhm.
stuff like that was on the countertop, so hopefully they wouldn't hit my pantry. And when I would go and, looking for something, it's gone.
That's right.
So,
The nuts are
and
gone, the
for
dates are gone.
meals, yes, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And also just keeping fruit on the counter and vegetables just
Oh,
already cut
excellent.
up so that, they can grab and go is so
Mhm.
important. So important. I
Oh,
find the
that's excellent.
more chopped carrots or grapes or anything that they can just pick up as they pass by, it will be eaten. And then
Yeah,
they don't
that's
have any
wonderful.
hunger pains to try to figure out, what am I going to do to feed this craving? It's been
Yes.
fed.
Well, and we all have that. I know I have that too.
Yeah.
It's having things in the house, your go-to things that you
Mhm.
enjoy that are whole plant foods so that you don't crash and do something else. So,
Right.
yeah, that's wonderful. That's just excellent. So we love all of your tips and we can't wait to hear more. Y'all need to know we work together uh, in our new medical practice, Lifestyle Medicine, Wellness, and Recovery. We have an 8-week course where we teach people how to cook delicious plant meals. We have live coaching, we have daily support, and Jennifer is just the best Pilates teacher ever. So we love to work with beginners and we'd love to see you there. Look us up on the web at Lifestyle Medicine, Wellness, and Recovery.com. And if you would, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our page on Facebook, and we would love to see you. So thank you so much, Jennifer. It was just delightful talking and learning from you today.
Thank you.